CJ Gardner-Johnson.
CJ. Need him.
There was a report last night that the Broncos are one of the teams interested in him.
And that was the only team named.
That was the only team named. Now, there has been, because I dove in a little bit, there has been a lot of connection that the Eagles still want him back, but I wasn't able to find any other legitimate connection to a different team.
Very interesting. If I go a little tea leaf reading here, it sounds to me like the Broncos are the team pursuing him. They want other teams to come in to drive up the price on the Broncos, so they're saying the Broncos are one of the teams interested to kind of make it seem like there's more at play here. Now, I'm not saying that no other teams are interested in CJ, but it could be one of those things where the Broncos are the only team who's interested at the price that they want.
That could be the case. Also, when I saw that, I read it as a way to try to get more money from the Eagles. Because I have to, I don't know his relationship that well at all in fact, I don't know it at all, but I imagine he has a good relationship with the Eagles, especially that secondary. I imagine he would be open to going back there. So,
and if you're keeping Bradbury and Slay, I think that probably increases the chance of him wanting to stay.
Yeah, and obviously the connection here, Sean Payton. Sean Payton drafted him. Sean Payton really liked him. Sean Payton was not there when they traded him away last year. So he has only good things to say about Sean. So that is something that I wouldn't be shocked. I think it would be a 1 year more so of a prove it deal. Not that he needs to prove it, but we are sitting here on Thursday.
You just don't value safeties.
Yeah, don't value safeties, but also Thursday's kind of like, the big contracts are given out. I mean, we just saw Orlando Brown go last night for less. For less. So now you're kind of looking at that. I'm not sure what is he, 25 years old?
I think he just turned 26.
The 26 that he wants to sign up for a long-term deal
no, he's still
at a
25.
discount. I think he'd be signing up for a 1 year deal to prove that he can do it. And hey, I mean, I'm sure he'd have a lot of success going back to the Eagles with that secondary, with that defense, but he could have a lot of success fitting in with this secondary too. I mean, he's going to be in a great position either of those secondaries.
Turned 25 in December.
That is crazy.
Spot Rack has him at 26, which I'm confused
I feel like
about.
he's been balling for a while.
Yeah.
I want it so bad for the Broncos. And if I was CJ, I would be telling my agent, we better get a deal before the weekend, because the weekend it feels like is when everything goes off a cliff. And I don't think I would accept anything less than a 3 year deal. Now, maybe those two things don't correlate, but as a safety, every year you get older, they just keep telling you, oh, well, yeah, and now you're 26. Right. By the end of this deal, you'll be 29. Based on our numbers, the average peak of a safety is 27.
Yeah. They're like a running back.
Yeah. Right. They're going to do that to him. So I'm saying, like, I need some security right now. So
you're the Broncos. What's the most you would give him? This is a really bad question to ask you. $20 million.
Well, you start. What's the most you would give?
So I'd be willing to give him a lot for this year.
Okay.
Because I'm more worried about the future of the cap than I think either of you. If you could make it work for $12 million,
1 year, 12. That's all you're doing.
Is that not enough?
No, I think you're probably in the ballpark now. The $15 million contracts aren't going out anymore.
Right.
And he in particular is just in a weird spot because he was a slot corner and then said like nobody pays slot corners, so I want to move to safety. And then whatever happened with the Saints, and so he gets traded. Oh no, it's definitely smart, but that is still what he's the best at. And he's also a really good safety, obviously, but he's a box
Didn't
safety.
Kareem Jackson do the same thing?
Similar. And so it is like over the cap says that he was worth $5.6 million last year, which is surprisingly low for a guy who tied for the league lead in interceptions. But again, it's just that position isn't valuable. But you do see how, maybe he is in a situation where it's like, oh, if I want a multi-year deal, maybe it's less than $10 million a year. That sounds crazy to say, but that could be possible in a 1 year, $12 million deal.
3 for 27.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, then now definitely I would
Sign
do
me
a
up.
multi-year deal. You're paying Justin Simmons $15.25.
I know.
Exactly.
If you get someone who's maybe not just good in different
Didn't
ways.
he lead the league in picks?
Yes, tied.
So
with Simmons,
Justin Simmons.
I think maybe with Simmons, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, but again, like interceptions, maybe kind of a It's a small sample size stat.
Sure.
You get lucky on a couple, and then all of a sudden you're way up there in the rankings. You see why, though, he is still here, and why. Like, it sounds crazy. Like, I still don't think that you could get him for less than $10 million a year, because that sounds crazy. But every single day that he's out there, it keeps pointing more and more to him being available for this price. And the fact that the Broncos were tied to him again last night is awesome.
If you're CJ, do you want 1 for 12, all guaranteed, obviously, or 3 for 27?
1 for 12.
With 18 guaranteed.
1 for 12.
I think 1
you
for
bet
12.
on yourself that you're going to be able to get more than $4 million a year after.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't he? But what I would be probably telling him as his agent, and I might get fired for this, is you just had the best year of your career.
Yeah.
If the market isn't there now,
Yep.
what's going to make it there next year?
Yeah, that's when I say, you messed up. I'm firing you.
Yeah,
signing a 1-year deal this year. Then go
Okay,
get
I'm
not
not saying
next
that
year.
as his agent.
Right.
I'm saying that as
yeah,
his
it's fair.
dad.
I mean, that's fair. It's a fair question.
I mean, 3 for 27, that's 9 per year. So if you get 1 for 12, they need. I should have done the math in my head before. Sorry. You need 15 more over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's a
7.5.
2-year, $15 million after. So maybe 3 years, 27 is. I mean, you get $27 million.
Where would that
Maybe you
that
just do
put him
3
in terms of safety rankings?
Maybe you just do 3 for 30 and give him 20 guaranteed.
I don't like it. I don't
It just
think
seems too good for a team.
I
Seeing
know.
that.
I mean,
I know.
we might just get blown away and someone finally decides to pay 15 mil a year.
Yeah.
I just think every second that this goes on, the price goes down.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And that's why I think maybe that's when a 1-year prove-it deal comes into play.
And I almost wonder if the Broncos essentially were out. That's when he unfollowed them on Instagram. And the longer this has gone on, the Broncos are like, oh, shit, okay, well, if no
Right.
one else is taking him, we're back in.
Yeah, and it's smart.
Yeah.
And that's the gamble you take in free agency. And that's why you sign the guys that you really can't miss out on day one, the 2 starting offensive linemen. And then you maybe get some deals later. Were you able to find that out?
Yeah, so 9 per year would make him the 17th highest paid safety, but would make him the 3rd highest paid strong safety. So again, that's the disconnect there, is that Justin Simmons gets all the money because he's a free safety. Like, that guy does a whole bunch of things. Like, he's the
Right.
quarterback from the back end. He covers a whole lot of ground. Like, I don't know. We may have been really overvaluing him.
Okay, and maybe, and if that's the case, that's great news. That maybe they could get him for $9 million. And
That'd be incredible.
clearly, maybe there's also a big disconnect between what he and his agent want and what teams value him as. He says, "No, I'm a safety. I want to be paid 15 a year," and teams are saying, "Oh, you're a strong safety.
Yeah.
You should be getting 9 a year."
Just be happy you're not a slot corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Otherwise, you're getting half that.